City Rollers and 4 for the Kansas City Roller Warriors. Coming up on the line, Skatal Attraction for Kansas City and Whiplash for the Sac City Rollers.
On the jam line, we have Skatal Attraction versus Whiplash.
Empty penalty box with a 5-on-5 on the track.
Sorry.
So we're just now picking up sound, so I will run through our rosters here in just a few minutes, and we are into the action, as you can tell, with Whiplash on the track, attacking the front line of Kansas City, rolling on around for lead. Skatal Attraction is out as well, have a track behind, but of course Whiplash will call it off and put 4 on the board. So that'll make it 15 for the Sac City Rollers and 4 for Kansas City. Once again, we'll see Jessica Boom coming up for Kansas City. Boom facing off against an enemy of the state. Attacking those walls, and ooh, sneaking around the outside is an enemy, closely followed by Jessica Boom. See if an enemy can get in there and score some points. Probably going to hit it and quit it. Calls it off after getting into the pack. Ref throws up 2 points. Sac City really on a roll with these lead calls and picking up points on Kansas City. Kansas City going to have to be a little more aggressive coming out, picking up lead. Get that defense under control and locked down, because these lead pickups are happening rather quickly. 4-3 advantage on the track for Sac City. We've got Quickfire. Quickfire picked up lead very quickly last time, and this time Enigma had to let her go on the front end as the pack stretched out. Kansas City's packs don't seem to be holding together very well thus far. I think maybe they'll wake up in a few minutes here, but moving into the pack and picking up 3 more points, adding to that lead for the Sac City Rollers. 21-4 so far after Jam 5. Once again, we'll see Accelerator for Kansas City, and that'll be Nail Her Swift for the Sac City Rollers. With a diminished pack, Accelerator trying to pick up lead on the front end, only 2 to beat with 2 in the box for Sac City. Gets pushed out of bounds, but right back in behind the blocker who knocked her out is Accelerator, and wow, look at that. Once again, Nail Her Swift out. And no, it's a penalty on Nail Her Swift, and so she will sit in the box. I think they set a back lock on that, and here comes Accelerator out. So we'll see the full 2-minute jam. There's a minute and a half left in that. Yeah, good opportunity here for Kansas City. Down by a pretty good margin at the very start of this game, and now with the power jam, an opportunity to pick up some of those points.
Let's see if they can get it back under control.
Grabbed 4 on that one due to the no pass, no penalty, so didn't get that extra point for the jammer in the box, essentially, and they're rolling right on through. So Accelerator, the former speed skater, champion speed skater, I might add, can pick up points in a hurry, especially in this kind of power jam situation where the team is focused on offense. Very cool to see Kansas City out there with these offensive blocks when they're not busy playing defense against these quick Sac City jammers.
I tell you, one of these teams have got to stop a jammer so that the other team can capitalize.
And then Accelerator is in the mix once again, trying to power on through with some help, grabs those points. 5 more on the board. Kansas City with a recycle forcing Naylor Swift out, and that'll do it for the jam. Ends on time. Kansas City, look at that. 24 points now, only down by 3. So that's roller derby for you. You can pick up a bunch of points in a hurry in the right circumstances. So Kansas City gave up a lot of points on those initial jams and made up for a ton of them in one jam. We will have Jessica Boom for Kansas City and Whiplash for Sac City. Whiplash trying to get by Yoko. Oh, no, you didn't. But she says, oh, no, you didn't, and then is bumped out by Enigma. Meanwhile, rolling through for lead is Jessica Boom. Kansas City now getting some momentum back into this. Came out a little flat on the front end, but here we are. Whiplash now, after a tough time, is through the pack and in scoring position, but that'll force the call off for Jessica Boom. Jessica picks up 1 point on that one, so a 2-point lead for Sac City with 21 and a half minutes remaining in the first period. That says 3-2 up there. That said period 2. P2. So here we are on the line. Skatel Attraction powering into that free wall. Meanwhile, Sac City was playing some offense on the front end, and it seems to have worked out for them as an enemy of the state is out and in lead. Skatel Attraction still clogged up, but finally through. An enemy's looking for the pass on the track. You can get in there and try and sneak in a couple of points, or maybe continue the jam. Does call it off. So 2 points thrown up in the air for Skatel and 1 for Sac City Rollers.
The
person on with the hat on the board, I bet.
Okay. I have it.
So if you're enjoying this broadcast or if you have any tips or information to send our way, you can comment on that YouTube link. Right now we've got Skatel Attraction once again and battling against Quickfire for Sac City. Nice offensive blocking. Hi, Betty. Ooh, and a recycle on the floor. Number 12, Devastate her with some powerful defense against Skatel Attraction, but Skatel will come out and pick up lead. Kansas City opportunity here to make up some points, and they do. Putting 5 in the sky. And so we have a tie game here. Kansas City really on a roll of late on the scoreboard. Pebbles playing some offense, and the pack stretching way out, trying to bridge, but it looks like they've got the space, and they're going to have to let her go as Skatel rolling on through for 5 more, and Kansas City's first lead of the game. Now 2 in the penalty box for Sac City. Kansas City with the full contingent. Jam gets called. 3 more on the board, and so 13-point jam for Skatel Attraction. 0 for Sac City on that rotation.
In favor of the Roller Warriors.
So only 2 blockers on the floor for the Sac City Rollers and 4 for Kansas City. That is good news for Accelerator, surveying the crowd from back. She always gets to get that rolling start. And, ooh, nice work on the floor. That was conquistadorable. And it was, and again, with the force out of Accelerator. So, nice penalty killing work. Conquistadorable 3 times now, pushing Accelerator out and having to recycle back, make that 4, though that was a quick one. And now lead being picked up by Nail Her Swift. Lady Killshot will take a seat here in the penalty box. But Nail Her Swift with an opportunity to make up some of these points and the deficit on the scoreboard. And now bump to the inside and quickly back in. Raina Payne gets knocked down after that bump out. And Nail Her Swift grabbing 5 points. Only a 3-point difference on the scoreboard. Nail Her Swift once again back into the action, slicing through that pack. Almost as if they were unaware she was moving in there. It's like Kansas City needs to form some tripods and get some structures going on the floor. Right as I say that, there's Accelerator up front calling for a tripod, says, get up here and work with me. But wow, Nail Her Swift again, uncontested through, and so regaining the lead as Sac City Rollers. That's 46-40 over Kansas City Roller Warriors. 16-16 remaining in the first half of play. 14-point jam. That was a pretty good one there. So back and forth action. Both teams looking hot and flat in altering moments. So we'll chalk it up to the high altitude and early morning game here, but hopefully they'll both tighten up their games and give us some hardcore derby actions early here. Jessica Boom pushing against the remaining 2, only 2 on the floor, as 2 are in the box for Sac City. And so Jessica Boom adjusting the jammer cap and rolling on through. Now half a track behind Whiplash coming in, but Jessica Boom gets knocked down hard and getting up slow, but does not grab any points on that attempt. And unfortunately, Jessica Boom's somebody that Kansas City really needs in the game, so avoid those injuries at all costs. An enemy of the state. Ooh, quickly picking up lead. Scale attraction. No, that's evilness for Kansas City, but the jam will get called off right away. Quick call off. No points on that jam for either team. Score remains 46 for Sac City, 40 for Kansas City, 14.5 in the first half. Of course, Sac City is in the blue and Kansas City in the gray on the floor. Both teams needing to tighten up this defense. The Jammers seem to be getting through without being contested very much. So structures, geometric structures out there are needed. And quickly through. Again, quick fire. Quick fire now in scoring position, gets bumped out by Foxy Brown and then drawn way back by Enigma. Skadel through for the initial pass, but Quick Fire's going to look back to the bench, and of course, Lipstick Librarian's going to say, call that off with a smile. So Sac City 51 now after scoring 5 on that jam.
With 13 minutes, 23 seconds to go here in the first half.
Nail Her Swift stepping up. for Sac City. We jamming against Accelerator for Kansas City. Full contingent of blockers for both teams out there. We thank you for tuning in here for this. Let your friends know. Send them a link out there and get them watching their team supporting. Chime in and let us know how we're doing. Got any shout outs for the teams or just to let them know that you're here? We'll be happy to pass that along and give your shout outs online. So Naylor Swift for Sac City and Accelerator for Kansas City. Accelerator gets that inside line. No, does not. Bump to the inside and has to, but then that will allow an opportunity for Naylor Swift to pick up lead. So the door opened and the door closeth. And it could, wow, look at that battle out front. Number 6, Beastie Toys, just giving the business to Accelerator, and that allows that opportunity for Naylor Swift to be in. And no, picks up a penalty, gonna sit down in front of us, and a block or two. So opportunity opens up once again for Accelerator, and we'll remember that earlier that was the kind of that power jam opportunity earlier in the game was how Accelerator brought the team back, had a huge jam, and to make up a big deficit. So now with Kansas City down, Accelerator's rocking that scoreboard once again. Now down by 1 point is Kansas City. Seems like it's going to be that kind of game with back and forth action throughout. Pack is stretched out. Jammer for Sac City back in. All skaters on the floor. No one in the penalty box. So 10-4 so far on this jam in favor of Kansas City, but Naylor Swift back into the pack for scoring. The jam will end. 5 points on that pass for Accelerator and 1 for Naylor Swift. So we have a 1 point lead for the Sac City Rollers with 10.5 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Coming up on Jam 14, we'll see Whiplash facing off against Jessica Boom. Again, I'm thinking both of these teams in the, they're in the D2 range, but they've got to firm up those geometric structures because they're breaking down too easy. The challenge, the links between them are being challenged, and they're breaking apart very easily, it seems, and we're picking up leads, and jammers are getting through the packs, both of the packs, without too much problem. So, right as I say that, of course, we have a huge takedown of Jessica Boom. I believe that was Conquistadorable, who's just been stellar from the blocking position, notable for Sac City. Kansas City grabbing 4 on that one and retaking the lead. Jam 15 will have Evilness taking the line, and it'll be an enemy of the state for Sac City. 1 blocker per team standing in the box, so they'll be back on the floor quickly, and wow, right up the inside. 5:03, an enemy of the state. Lead jammer for Sac City. We're just going to have back and forth lead changes on this game over and over again, I predict. An enemy rolling right through that separated pack of Kansas City. Oh, now bumped out by Enigma. There's kind of a battle going on in there, and wait, that's going to be, nope, not a back block, so must have got some hip in there, and an enemy grabs 4 points for Sac City. Lead change once again. 60 Sac City, 59 Kansas City, 8.5 remaining first half.
And then you get all wrapped up, fall down, you forget to call it, other team jumps over everybody, scores all the points, and it's hectic. So the fact that they can find that and call it off, looking at their point, that's good too. That's good awareness.
So quick fire for Sac City and Skatal Attraction for Kansas City. Now, there's some good structures in there. They must be listening. You get some earbuds in. Say, all right, Coach Rockus, we're going to lock down these packs because this is good defense for both teams. We need those tripod structures. That's how the top teams in the WFTDA are defending their turf is with strong tripods and often having one blocker that can roam around, play some offense in the mix and kind of shake things up. Right there, quick fire. Picks up lead, rolling through for some points momentarily. Quick fire untouched once again through the pack. Now followed by Skatal Attraction, but with a 20-foot lead. I think they're going to try and get in there and score a few more. Lipstick Librarian saying do it. And does not pick up a point there. Didn't get the hit past. All right, I thought it was a sea creature, but enemy of the state, so thank you for that correction. I ran over to the bench just to make sure there, so that was their brief interruption, was for a correction on that. Enemy, the skate. And back here we've got Naylor Swift battling it out with Accelerator for lead position. Pack stretched out. Sac bridging. Kansas City now bridging, so again, second jam in a row where we've seen a decent defensive positioning by both teams as they're invoking the tripod and bridging between the packs. Good stuff. Maybe jump somebody up there and play some offense. And when you're not bridging, there you go, as if they were listening. And that offense is what sort of freed up Naylor Swift for lead. Now in that position, two Roller Warriors in the penalty box, one blocker for Sac City. Now we have a star pass. That'll be the kill shot of Kansas City. Naylor Swift, some pretty big takeouts there by the Kansas City blockers. We'll get 3 in that one. 68 for Sac City, 59 Kansas City Roller Warriors. 5 minutes remaining in the half. Now Jessica Boom for Kansas City, Whiplash for Sac City. Boom with a shoulder and forces her way through on the inside for a lead, but quickly Whiplash following, quarter of track behind. Boom, looking for this time, picks up the jump with a big cheer from the Kansas City bench. They're smiling and standing up, looking for something to get fired up here about. And it's 68 Sac City, 63 Kansas City. I couldn't understand what that said. What was the abbreviation?
That's from Derby.
Which you're from Devo. So now, enemy of the state. And Evilness for Kansas City. Evilness recycled back. Anorexic sitting down in the penalty box. We've got a lead call for enemy. Eve moving into position, but the jam is called with 4 points on the board for Sac City. That'll take them to 71, those 3 points will. And 63 Kansas City, 3.5 remaining. Diminished pack to start this jam for Sac City. 2 in the penalty box. They must be devastated.
Yeah.
They gotta figure it all out first. And we've got Quickfire for Sac and Skadel for Kansas City. Skadel trying to push that front line, but being knocked in by Conquistadorable. I'm sorry, that was Con Artist. Got to give credit where credit is due. Quickfire with lead. Skadel out on the initial pass, so Quickfire trying to get those hips around, calls it. 3 more points, 75 Sac City, 63 Kansas City. Sac City Rollers are known as the Capital Punishers. Out of Sacramento, California. They've got a league with over 100 skaters. Played Kansas City last year and lost that game. Hoping to avenge that loss right here with Whiplash on the floor for Sac. Jessica Boom, Kansas City. It's going to be Boom picking up lead. And Whiplash picking up the penalty. So Power Jam, Kansas City. Boom. Big hit on Jessica Boom, but will be called no pass, no penalty, as her foot went out of bounds on the front end of it, but the blocker fell down as well. So Boom in there scoring, Whiplash standing up in the box. Full contingent of blockers for both teams. Boom grabbing 5 points. Being told by the bench over here, Bits saying, keep on rolling, keep on rolling. And another apex jump. Boom just loves that inside line, looks for it very methodically, landed that foot, said, I got this, picked up 5 more. So jumps again over the straight line of it and stays in bounds. Beautiful work there, picking up 4 more points, and right before the jammer for Sac City could get into the pack. So Kansas City regains the lead, first time in a while, 81-75. 25 seconds remaining in the first half, and lots of score of lead changes in this one. We'll see how we come out in the second half. I think the teams are getting warmed up here, and we're starting to see some more aggressive hitting, blocking, and jamming with those couple of apex jumps and that last jam for Jessica Boom. Certainly entertaining and put some big smiles on the Kansas City face. So we'll see who can win this particular jam and maybe take some momentum into the second half. And we've got Bent out on the track. Somebody is, the refs are discussing something. I'm not sure what that is, but, and I don't have a runner over here. Kind of a minimal setup that we've got. Actually, talking into a phone right now is my microphone. And standing in a hockey box watching the action. Having a good time, though. Lots of fun teams here. Let's tell you about that. So here today we've got Boulder County, Jet City, Kansas City, Sac City, Sacred City, Treasure Valley, Tucson, No Coast, Arizona, Wasatch, and Rocky Mountain. Those are certainly some fantastic teams. A lot of those teams in the, hunting for the D2 spot. Those D2 spots, less D2 spots this year. So this is a tournament that could play out where some of these teams are moving up in the rankings and some down and in and out of those D2 spots. So potentially D1 spots, depending on how the rest of the season goes. So lots of marbles on the table here as we enter probably the last jam of the first half. With 19 seconds left on the board, we've got Enigma jamming for Kansas City for the first time of the game. Enigma, one of those players that can do anything, usually neater on the floor as a blocker, but often when it's time to score some points, Enigma will come out, probably the best jammer on the team, and doesn't wear a star the majority of the time. So now coming out lead, Nail Her Swift. Enigma out, so Nail Her Swift will call it off. Did not pick up any points there, so we will go into the intermission with Kansas City in the lead by 6 points to 81 Kansas City, 75 Sac City Rollers. I am Raucous Ron, and we will continue with this broadcast in about 14 minutes. Thank you. And we are back here at BESTERNS 2017 once again. I am Ruckus Ron. I'm having a great time here. So many cool teams here playing this weekend. Right now, we've got the second half of Kansas City Roller Warriors versus Sac City Rollers. So a lot of rollers on the floor. And Kansas City has a lead right now of 81-75, a 6-point lead. But this lead has been going back and forth the entire game. On this upcoming jam, we will have Quickfire for Sac City Rollers and Jessica Boom for Kansas City. Boom ended the first half with a couple of big apex jumps to score Kansas City's final points and put them in the lead on her last jam out there, second to last jam of the first half. And we'll see how that momentum translates into this second half. Hopefully both teams have made some adjustments to their blocking schematics as Mark, both packs have seemed rather porous in here. And despite good individual efforts, there's Raina Payne with a bump out. Right now, Raina Payne locked in, but sliding around the outside is Quickfire. Picked up lead for the Sac City Rollers. So, way to start for Sac City here. Half a track behind, Jessica Boom comes rolling out on the attack, getting low and skating fast. Quickfire kind of hops past the front pack there and picks up 4 points, but Jessica Boom pulling in for 3 points. Kansas City maintains the lead by 5 points. Nail Her Swift for Sac City. Skatal Attraction, Kansas City. Full contingent of blockers for both teams as we start off. Nail Her Swift trying to do some lateral movement back and forth and work around this Kansas City 4. Those 4 break down, but Enigma with a knockdown on the front end. Enigma is such a shark on the front end, attacking and picking up that last second knockdown before the jammer gets lead. But now, out and in that position is Nail Her Swift. Skatal still caught up in the fray. Oh, make that in the penalty box. Missed that. So, power jam, Sac City, and they've tied it up, and now it's like they'll be moving into the lead once again after picking up 2 more points there, and they'll start off on another power jam. Momentum in favor of Sac City Rollers so far, just 2 jams in to the second half.
We have Whiplash lining up for Sac City. She's going to start the power jam, trying to.
And here we go. Jam 3, Skatal Attraction and Whiplash. Whiplash bumped on the front end, but stays in bounds, picks up lead for Sac City Rollers. That's 3 lead calls in a row for them here in the second half. Skatal now out of the box and into the mix. Works her way through as well. Trying to put pressure on the other jammer to call it, so Sac City does call it off. Picks up 7 on that jam. Now 93-84 in favor of Sac City. We'd like to thank all of you tuning in out there, and you can comment on the YouTube link for us. That'd be great. We've got a couple comments we'll get to here in a minute, those shout outs.
And also on the line for Sac City is
We would love to hear from you here. Enemy versus X on this one. Enemy drawn way back by Kansas City's blockers. That's Pebbles, Yoko, and Enigma on the floor. Enigma skating in most of the jams for Kansas City. Enigma very valuable to the team in that position. Like I said, the shark on the front end of a lot of these jams, and coming around, calling it off. Sac City grabbing 3 more to take a 97-84 lead. Largest lead of the second half here. 25 minutes remaining, second half of play. Jam 5 coming up. Kansas City with 2 in the penalty box, 1 for Sac City. And through with lead, no, picking up a cut track will be Sac City's jammer. So a power jam for Jessica Boom, and that can be dangerous. Boom can score a lot of points in a hurry, is now lead. Boom giving a little signal there with a shoulder rub to the team, and that made sense to me anyway. Offense comes in on the attack. Pebbles with some great offense out front. Jessica Boom knocked down on the front end by number 51. That's Purdy Girl. Purdy Girl. So Jessica Boom looking to make up some of the deficit on the scoreboard here. Gets bumped out by number 12, Deva Skater. Well, Boom grinding and pushing, now bumped to the inside by Purdy Girl. Working that and gets told to call it by Bit over on the bench. So picking up 2 more on that one. Brings it up to 91 for Kansas City, 97 for Sac City. 7-0 advantage for Kansas City on that jam. 23.5 minutes remaining in the second half. This one could go either way, folks. This is definitely one of those games that'd be difficult to call. It's the fortunes here. Whoever is picking up the penalties or getting the power jams seems to be the key. Kansas City with a tripod on the front end. That tripod starting to break down, and it'll be Naylor Swift picking up lead here in Jam 6. Enigma will take a trip to the penalty box, and
Yeah, it just took a I'm not sure I like this one.
meanwhile, Naylor Swift through the pack, grabs 5. Skadel caught up in the pack with some good blocking. They're doing some excellent recycling to the front of the pack. The blockers are for Sac City. And Skadel shaking her head as she skates off the track here, and unable to get much purchase with that blocking line. And 102-91 in favor of Sac City right now. 22 remaining first half of play. Kansas City having called a timeout over here. Bits in the middle discussing with everyone what should be done and how to do it. I would say, if I were in there, I would say let's lock down our tripods and send someone on the attack. We need a shark out there to kind of pop open and create some disruption with into the blocking line of Sac City. So disruption would be the key to offense. A little more offense on the track, and a little more solid on those links, holding the tripods together in effect. And I know they can do it. I've seen them do it before and earlier this season, playing in games against Omaha, No Coast, and other teams. No Coast here this weekend as well. So this is a tournament-style play going on. So we'll, the rest of the bracket, you can check it out. Just Google search BESTERNS 2017. It's the first thing that pops up on your feed, and you can check out the bracket there and information related to it. You can give that link to your friends, and they could log on and watch this YouTube feed of their favorite skaters here in Denver, Colorado. So on the floor, Whiplash, and just like that, grabs lead for Sac City.
With that coming through for some points, looks like Kansas City's here is still stuck trying to get through, trying to get some pressure on the stand.
Whiplash goes down in the pack. Blocking, holding strong for both teams.
You're doing a great job there trying to help out her jammer. I'd love to see those blockers playing off.
Sac City with a bump out and recycle for evilness.
That's a dig, though, with a big shoulder between thirds 3 and 4.
The jam will be called, and 4 more points in the sky for Sac City. That'll put them at 114. Kansas City 91. Momentum definitely swinging towards Sac City right now. These Roller Warriors need to get fired up.
1 minute to all. All right, so on the clock. We'll start serving beer. $4, Fat Tire $6, and cider. That's gluten-free cider, $6.
It says I'm not connected to the chat. I don't know why.
Accelerator out there for Kansas.
Jeff Christie says, "Cool stream." Chime in here with your comments. Right now, we've got Enemy of the State and Accelerator battling it out. Enemy in blue, of course, and Accelerator in gray for Kansas City. Accelerator being signaled to the box once again. Not too happy about that. And Enemy untouched around picking up 5 points as Accelerator is trapped within this blocking pack. Nice work out there for Beastie Toys and company, holding down the former WFTDA MVP and Hydra winner, Accelerator. $10 points so far on this jam for Enemy, and rolling around to pick up more with 44 left on the jam clock. This is definitely a big jam for Enemy and Sac City Rollers.
Sac City largely in charge during this jam. They also have a power scenario setting up for the next jam. But Sac City
Huge jam there
there with the 19-minute mark
for Enemy.
second half.
Got to be proud of that one. 15-0 jam. So Sac City, as stated, momentum swinging that way heavily, but Kansas City can make up that amount of points in 1 or 2 good jams or with a power jam. So Sac City 125, Kansas City 91, 18.5 minutes remaining in the second half of play here. Quick fire, trying to make quick work of this blocking lineup for Kansas City. Back and forth from outside to inside of the track. Hits that inside line with a spin, and is your lead for Sac City. Now around into scoring position, once again untouched. Sac City getting through untouched a little too often for the liking of our Kansas City fans at home.
I had to log into another account so I could chat with the person that was the questions and it logged in.
I just looked over and I'm like, am I on? Okay, so 130, Sac City, 91, Kansas City. 17.5 remaining in the game. Look at that attack. Wow. But now bumped out by Enigma on the inside, and a lane opens up on the outside for Accelerator lead. So Kansas City needs to shift this momentum slightly. Nail her Swift out as well and half a track behind. So it'll probably be a situation where Accelerator calls it off, looks back at the bench, calls it off, but gives up 3 points there. Had an opportunity to shut down the jam after picking up 3 points, but looked to the bench and didn't quite get the call-off information in time. So Kansas City going to need to put some positives on the board here instead of equal or negatives. So Whiplash 3-3 on the floor as Jessica Boone picks up lead. Closely followed by Whiplash, and that's one of the issues that Kansas City is having here is the other team keeps getting out right away. So even when they pick up lead, they're closely followed into the pack, and right here, that points picked up for oh my goodness, that was a little bit of a strategy fail there as picking up lead but then giving up points. So in a point deficit on this one, the skater for Sac City grabbed 9 points to 4, and usually that is not what you like to see. You pick up lead and end up with a 5-point deficit and get jammer lap point on the play. A couple of miscues there, a couple jams in a row where Kansas City could have been up, 3-0 on the jam before last, and then on the last jam they could have been up 4-0, and instead gave up 12 points there to Sac City. So it's of course I'm armchair quarterbacking over here. It's a lot easier from my position where I'm watching in the hockey box than being on the floor in all the confusion. Right now we're having some discussion of the referees on the floor. Unfortunately, I probably won't be able to tell you what they're discussing because I don't have a runner. But so in this tournament, let me run down the teams real quick. We have the 26th ranked, and I'm doing these in order of their WFTDA ranking, the 26th ranked Tucson Roller Derby, the 30th ranked Arizona Roller Derby, 39th ranked No Coast Derby Girl Derby, 46th ranked this jam, or maybe at our next timeout. So wow, slicing right through the pack, but now getting bumped out by Enigma. It's no pass, no penalty, so she'll jump right back in is Anime, and Anime, no pass, no penalty. And Lady Killshot, first time with the Jammer Star in this game. Well, and not as starting off as the Jammer, picks up lead and calls it off. Sac City had moved into point scoring advantage, and we're down to just under 15 minutes remaining in the half with Sac City at 142, Kansas City 98. Full contingent of blockers for both teams. Skate attraction for Kansas City, quick fire for Sac City. Pack spread way out, some bridging going on. 3 bridges in effect as we're stretched out all along the far straightaway, and quick fire picking up lead. Enigma dropping into the box as well. Must have a large number of penalties at this point. We don't have Ringster here in front of us, so all of this is spontaneous with no stats in hand. Solo stream announcing, but meanwhile, Quickfire back into the fray, grabs another 5 points as there was a cut track for Accelerator and, Skatel Attraction, and that was not what they need right here at this particular phase in the game. You can tell Kansas City is thinking about and discussing how they can lock this thing down and score some points. They've got some serious catch-up to do right now. Down by 49 points. Or no, something like that. No, 59 points overall with 13 and a half remaining in the game here in the second half. So now discussion on the track. So we'll go back to that list of our teams here. Of course, I'd already mentioned Tucson, Arizona, No Coast, Wasatch, and our host, Rocky Mountain, is ranked at 46. We have the Kansas City Roller Warriors at 54. Ranked 56 is Sacred City Derby Girls. And 57th is Boulder County Bombers. 58th is Jet City Roller Girls. Ranked 62 is Treasure Valley Roller Derby. And ranked 63 is Sac City Rollers. So you'll notice that a lot of these teams are very close. I mean, most of the teams somewhere, between the 30s and 60s in terms of ranking. So a lot of ranking points on the table here for these teams as in this tournament will definitely determine who's going and not going to playoffs. Some of this action that you'll be seeing this weekend. But back to the action, we've got Nail Her Swift swiftly picking up lead. So they're doing it quickly, swiftly, and repeatedly. And we'll have opportunity to continue on this one after being recycled as Kansas City's jammer came out of the penalty box and is yet to make the first pass. No skaters in the box right now. Oh, nice work by Aaron Nobrod to force Nail Her Swift to cycle back farther. Skatel gets bumped out in turn 4 and has to recycle as well. And then continuing on through for 5 more points is Nail Her Swift of Sac City. And that was a cut track. I thought so. Kind of spun, came along the inside track, went out of bounds and spun back in, but did not attempt to leave the track and called the jam there. So you've got to make that attempt to not have the cut track. Really like the rule changes this year where you can't accidentally pick up a cut track by kind of spinning on the line or the sort of thing that just happened. You've got the opportunity to make up for that, to regret that decision and move to the outside of the track. Right now we've got Lady Killshot and Nail Her Swift jamming. Kansas City obviously digging into the lineup here a little bit, trying to find a solution to their woes with 11.5 minutes remaining and a pretty big deficit on the scoreboard. And now picking up lead and giving some hope to Kansas City is Lady Killshot. And Killshot pounds into the front line. Killshot, such a strong player, really forceful. Uses a lot more power than finesse, I'd say, from that position. Now calls it off after picking up 3 points, and Kansas City breaks that 100-point barrier. Can I see that shout out? And wanted to give a couple shout outs here. Let's see. Tracy Bird says, kick some butt, KCRW. Keep your walls strong. And Candace says, great job, Sac City. I'm going to get to more of these in just a few minutes. We've got thank you for everybody mentioning in here, didn't realize we had so many shout-outs to do, so we'll get those. And meanwhile, Whiplash picks up lead for Sac City. Sac City up by 65 right now, and that number will increase momentarily as Whiplash is in the pack and scoring. Continues to push, did not call off the jam here, so gonna try and let this one roll. Trust the defense. Nice work getting by the front end block of Aaron Nobra and picking up 4 more points for Sac City. Whiplash back into the fray, bump to the inside, calls it off, and picks up. That was a 4 to 6 jam in favor of Sac City. So let's see. Darcy says, yay refs, Bambi and Al. Oh, my friend Emily says, come on, KC. Paloma says, get it together, Kansas City, triple exclamation point. Dwayne Cunningham, the voice of the Kansas City Warriors, says, regroup and get back in the hunt, Wolfpack. You can do it. So big shout out to my co-announcer at home and my mentor, announcer Dwayne Cunningham, legendary announcer from Kansas City. So hey, buddy. And so glad to hear you guys, or see you guys watching at home. And lead now picked up by Enemy. Evilness trying to work that wall and gets bumped out on the far straightaway. Enemy back into scoring position, weaving through the pack. 2 more to pass on the front end, but it's bumped out by Yoko. She says, oh no you didn't. And now Yoko bracing that wall, but wall being disrupted and broken apart. Nice offensive and defensive work out there by Spankenstein. Really appreciate that. And there's a bunch of smiles from Dwayne on board. And he says, you're doing great, Ron. That's raucous to you, buddy. And my friend Emily says, can't wait to get there tomorrow. And the Polarin says, my Derby best friend for life is Sketty for Sac. Give a cheer for Diva on Sac. So I think that's devastation. So now we've got Quickfire out in lead position for Sac City, continuing their domination here in the second half with 7 minutes remaining. Kansas City failing to dial in a solution for Sac City's attack. Just playing a little bit cleaner game on defense and a little more aggressive on offense. The jammers for Sac City have been very effective. They've maintained their 4-jammer rotation throughout this, whereas Kansas City's been kind of digging for a jammer solution. Kansas City and Jessica Boom dives in for 3 points there on the tail end before the play gets called. 5 points on that one for Sac City. 181 to 108, 6.5 minutes remaining. Next up, we're going to see Sacred City versus Treasure Valley. So that'll be a good one. You can tune in all weekend here. Make sure to share that link with your friends. And Nail Her Swift picking up lead for Sac City. Betty Killshot still looking to get by the wall. That was Purdy Girl with the recycle. Purdy Girl having an outstanding game here. Really enjoying the intensity of this Sac City team. They are having some fun out here skating, and they're in control right now. So now Lady Killshot gets out, and that'll force the call off as Nail Her Swift got in there for 3 more. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Sac City 184, Kansas City 107.
Surf Jammers lining up with a lot of attack.
Skatal attraction, jamming for Kansas City, whiplash for Sac City. Whiplash pushing hard on the front line. Really, he has been able to break down those defensive walls of Kansas City throughout the game and scored an inordinate amount of lead calls and points thus far. Whiplash with one to beat on the that's accelerator. Kansas City now playing some on scale outside. Skatal looking for help, shoving skaters, and Trevor says, "Get up there and get them for me." So Skatal is out, and Whiplash looks at the bench, and I think they're going to have her call that one off. Commanding lead right now. Going to be very difficult for Kansas City to come back on this one, but you know, Kansas City hopefully learning some lessons on this one they can take into the rest of the tournament. They will move on to tomorrow at 12 o'clock, where the loser of game 2, potentially here, maybe assuming, we'll play the loser of game 7 at 12 o'clock tomorrow. So if Kansas City fan tuning in. And right now, Evilness with a lead call. Once again, Enemy not too far behind Kansas City's pack in the back, so going to be difficult to grab many points without giving up points. So, and well, looks like they did, even though Kansas City picked up the lead. Sac City grabs 2 points, and Kansas City is 0 on that one. So Sac stealing 2 on the back end. And if Sac City goes on to win this game, they will be taking on No Coast at 4 o'clock today. So your Sac City fans, tune in at 4 o'clock. And that is Mountain Time. Yeah, I would say so. We're in the mountains here in Denver, Colorado. So translate to whatever that means to you. Use your Google button. Quick fire for Sac and Jessica Boom for Kansas City. Just over 2 minutes remaining in the game.
Just as we said it, Ryan Blocker goes to the box for Sac City.
Keep the Dormal hanging out in the sin bin.
Quick fire with lead.
Quick fire just did.
Now the best of Sac City's Blockers just got to keep it calm. Oh, and they should have tried to get
Jessica Boom out of the pack.
so good at what she does.
But Quick Fire grabs him. Going to let some time run off the clock here and continue to skate, rely on the defense, and bam, that was a good call. As number 10, Annie Rexick, puts a wreck on Boom. Sac City really coming together with the defense in the second half. Those obviously went into the locker room during halftime and discussed putting some more structure in. But here's Boom coming to the penalty box on a cut track. Not too happy about that. So Kansas City certainly with a few things to work on and discuss for the rest of the tournament. Quickfire will call it off, and we've got an official review being requested by Bit out on the track. It's probably on the cut track of Jessica Boom.
Hey, official review called on the track by Kansas City.
Allie Stanley says, "Go Killy, give Casey more hope." So 47 seconds remaining in the game. Let's talk about more that's coming up today. So, as stated, we've got Sacred City versus Treasure Valley coming up next. Then at 2 o'clock, we've got Tucson versus Jet. At 4 o'clock, we'll have No Coast versus Sac City, who is set to win this one. And then at 6 o'clock, we'll have Arizona versus the winner of Game 3. So Arizona will be playing either Sacred City or Treasure Valley. And don't get confused now, because we do have Sac City and Sacred City here. So very close, but different teams. And we'll have Los versus our tournament host, Rocky Mountain. So Monday, long week derby. Now, if you're watching out there on the YouTube channel, take a moment and share that with your friends. Let them know that their hometown team is here playing this weekend, and you can at Google BESTERNS 2017, look at the schedule, figure out when the teams are playing, and it is an elimination bracket here where the lineup for the rest of the weekend will depend on who wins or loses in those particular matchups. So we'd love to have your feedback and anything you'd like, shout outs that you'd like to give. We're announcing solo here, at least today, and we appreciate information or shout outs from home, and I know the skaters here do as well. And after the review, Jessica Boom will remain in the penalty box. Yeah, that's what it was. The challenging the track cut call and Jessica Boom. Jessica Boom will remain in the penalty box. And opportunity here for Naylor Swift and Sac City to pick up lead and take control of the clock, run this one out. With only 30 seconds remaining, it'd be difficult for Kansas City to pick up more points here, or many more. But they're certainly going to try and fight to the last seconds on the clock. Naylor Swift pulled back and recycled behind Enigma. Boom getting out the initial pass, but 5 seconds on the clock. Naylor Swift is going to look over to the bench, and are they going to continue to roll? Nope, going to call it off as expected. So our unofficial final, 213 to 109. Sac City almost doubling up Kansas City. It was so close in the first half. We had lead changes going back and forth the entire first half. And then Sac City with more gas in the tank on the second half, able to really power through and dominate that second half. And hopefully Kansas City will acclimate to this altitude. I know a lot of skaters got in late last night here a mile high above sea level, and they will take some lessons from this one, hopefully put them into effect for the rest of the tournament and put on a better show for you there at home, Kansas City. But congratulations to Sac City. A fantastic game from the team from Sacramento. Sac City currently ranked 63. Kansas City was ranked 54. So that's got to be good for Sac City to beat a team that was 9 points ahead in the rankings in WFTDA. And Sac City looking to move into the D2 position. And here comes Kansas City around for the high fives and handshakes. So big props to everyone here from Rocky Mountain, the support staff and crews, the referees, everyone, and thank you at home for watching. I'm Raucous Ron, and we'll have Brad Example coming up on the broadcast next for Sacred City versus Treasure Valley, so stay tuned.